Let's go! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries. Why do I say that all the time? Do you like football? American football, with the oblong one that they don't use their feet with? That football. Let me learn more because I don't know much about football. I'm in Minnesota. I should be a Vikings fan, but I don't know much about it. My brother's got a bumper sticker that says, "Go Twins and take the Vikings with you." So there's my history on football. Let's find our friend Brian.
Hey, Brad.
Oh, you're wearing green. St. Patrick's Day coming?
What's that?
Is it St. Patrick's Day coming? You're wearing green today.
Oh, I'm in my NFL gear. See?
Oh,
NFL.
I see. You're a Packer backer.
Yep.
I got it. You have a football there, one of those oblong things.
Yeah, this is a college one, but or high school. It's a little bit smaller, but does the job for us today. So it's a great new season, a little different. We just came off a COVID-riddled season. There are a lot of restrictions. And what's different about this season, Brad, it was 18 weeks, 17 games. So it used to be, your record was 10-6, 11-5, 12-4. Now it's a 17-game season, and you have a bye week of resting. So they call it an 18-week season, 17 games. It takes its toll. There's more and more injuries happening because of it. But lots of great new things happening with artificial intelligence in football. And last night, I watched the first playoff game on a Monday night, I think.
Well, all this stuff to a non-football person is confusing in and of itself. So I need some intelligence to understand even just the scheduling of football and why it might cause more injuries and all that stuff, which is kind of an interesting segue into our topic of the NFL and AI, artificial intelligence. They do use like performance enhancing drugs, and there's training and special, physical therapy kind of things. And they do use technology. I mean, it's amazing how they can broadcast the thing and you can see the little line where the first down is and all that stuff. They're using that kind of technology. How the hell do they paint that little line on and then take it off? That's
right.
Amazing. So what you're talking about, because you brought this topic up of artificial intelligence in sports, they could put a little wrist Fitbit, and then they know each player's pulse and all that stuff. And a computer could figure out, we got to throw out 27 and put in 64. Right?
Well, how about, and then when you're designing a play, you could be going up. So this Sunday, let's say we're going up against a really good run stuffing defense. They're ranking high in run defense. Okay, this team we're going to play. And I've got a play where I've got a pulling guard that comes out, right? And then behind that guard, trying to get around the corner, is the running back carrying the ball. If it takes 6 seconds to get 10 feet to the right to block, who's the running back that's going to take 6.1 seconds, get around that corner, get past that block, and be set free? So they can do timing.
Wow.
They can look at different things. You talk about injuries. It can actually, one team is actually using it right now to show how much the shoulder tilts, where is your hip right now at this point of the run, the height of your knees, the separation of your knees. And, when you're a receiver and you're going out for a route, you've got to go, straight out, make a turn this way, right? What's the best way to pivot on that knee and not have a injury on that knee? They're even looking at that kind of stuff too.
Wow. So they're already doing some of this stuff?
A few teams are. It's not widespread, but a few teams are.
What would be the regulations on something like that? Who's going to regulate something like that? If someone's like, you can't be using those supercomputers, you got to use a MacBook Air if you're going to do this. It's just not fair when you're using these super high fast computers. It's just not fair.
Well, it's the use of data analytics, and data has always been welcomed. So as long as it's for a good purpose, you're not cheating to get the data, it should be allowed. So again, it's data analytics and AI. It's a combination of that.
Yeah.
So you bring in the data and then use that to your advantage.
Well, it is an interesting thing because like there's some well financed people that own football teams. So if they have more funding, they can buy the much faster and better computers, and it's kind of really weird. You kind of wonder, what's the team all about? Well, by the way, for those that don't know, Brian is here on linkedin.com/Brian Bush Writing. For those that don't know, that's how you get a hold of Brian. If you want to talk with him about this, maybe Brian wants to write some articles about people. And
yeah, I do copy for business, technology, manufacturing, AI. I write on network technologies, and whether it's web copy, a white paper.
Are you a big football fan?
I've been since I was a kid. Yeah.
So that would be an interesting niche if all of a sudden you did technical writing on football teams.
Yeah. Yep.
That could be real interesting.
It'd be a lot to write about.
I could see you getting on some of those programs, and instead of the play-by-play kind of thing about this player, you'd be talking about the technological artificial intelligence. Well, they've got a much faster processor. I would think that the Vikings are going to do real good in this. Weird like that.
Well, I suppose at some point the big market teams could afford more and get more, right? And the smaller market teams might not. And there may have to be some balance that way, but certainly data is out there for everyone to collect.
So artificial intelligence is also going to take into factor humidity and rain and wind and all that stuff too, I would think.
I thought, yeah. So if you're going against, your quarterback has to throw in a crosswind, or you've got a good receiver who loves to go left, and you got the wind going that way as well. Yeah, you would set that up as well, right?
And you got a quarterback that's known to have sweaty hands. Maybe.
Well, that's what wristbands are for, Brad.
I suppose, but still, every little piece of data helps, right?
Right.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. I love this kind of thing when you're thinking, outside of the box on these things. This never occurred to me until you brought it up today, and it is interesting that you could program a winning game with the right technology and the right data. Some
users are learning because there are slight imperfections in your gate velocity, like the speed of you running out for a play.
Yeah.
And that may increase susceptibility to injury as well. Just your gait velocity, whether it's a hyperextended knee, hyperextended leg, landing wrong. So all kinds of things are being looked at. Not, like I said, it's not widespread, but it's coming into its own.
You could do some predictive analysis too. If you know someone that is, one of the players has knee history, and they think, okay, they're going to be going against the Miami Dolphins, and they're, I don't know, the linebackers are bigger or something. There's more probability that guy's going to get hurt because of that knee. They can kind of predict that with that data. They can kind of artificial intelligence, Nostradamus.
What I think, Brad, what you'll see is that it's going to be used right up until game time to study a team, to prepare, to practice better, to put the right plays out there. And then the rest is on your own at game time. You call plays as you need to. And but it's mostly
a regulation where the NFL says that's where we got to cut it off, because this is a human game. It's not a computer game.
Yeah, there probably will be some ethical issues brought up. Yeah.
Well, it would, because if you just leave it all up to the computer, you just tell the coach, why don't you go sit on the bench? Because, Siri's got this. Let Alexa play this, coach this team. Alexa, what should I do for the next play? It's very interesting. I'm always fascinated about these new ideas that come in that people don't normally think about. And a lot of this stuff could possibly be already happening. There's maybe somebody somewhere else that knows more than we do, and they're already doing this stuff, and we don't even know.
There, there's something called a drill back where you ask verbally into your system, ask Siri or that voice, right? That automated voice response, IVR, interactive voice response system. You could say, how many times has this team been successful on a 4th down fake field goal? How many times has this team faked on 4th down with 10 or more yards to go? You can study back on the past. It'll bring up that result depending on how much data is collected. So it can get really fine grained. It can get really minute with the data. So it can be interesting. But I mean, data is used, Brad, in a lot of different ways to make money and to improve in marketing, in sales, and as you know, affiliate marketing can even use data as well.
Yeah, I've got some stuff going on. Let's see, where's my with my Synergy Collaborative thing right now. I'm running some ads to some of the websites, and when I go onto my phone on the Google ad thing, it'll show which keywords are getting clicked on, and then I can choose whether I want to add those keywords or remove certain keywords to optimize it. So it's weird. You just check it every day and go, push the button. It's fascinating.
Interesting.
It is.
Are you going to watch any playoff games coming up here, Brad? Are you going to be watching of course you watch the Super Bowl, but
no, I don't.
You don't?
Hell no.
Oh.
There he goes. I insulted him and he left. I said I didn't watch the Super Bowl. Brian got mad and left. He just walked away. Where did he go? Oh, there he is.
All right.
What did I do wrong?
You got to throw in some props once in a while. So
I see. Well,
I mean, if you think about it, healthcare uses data. They're going to be using AI. AI is used in human resources for hiring. They're using it to sell the fan base. It's called Next Gen Stats. They put out the stats of favorite players, and that helps sell jerseys, which sells posters, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business. I'm sure all the merchandise and that kids get. So it is on the field, but it's also for marketing and sales and other ways.
Yeah, the whole artificial intelligence in general. I go back and forth. It seems like it's a good thing. I mean, it's cool to have a digital watch that tells the time real quick. You can know it down to the second rather than analog. It doesn't have a second hand. You wouldn't know.
Right.
But then there's kids these days that don't know how to read an analog clock because they're in the digital world.
Isn't that something?
Terrible. It is. So you kind of wonder, are we with this whole artificial intelligence thing, is it going to eventually be in this world where we just all sit back? We don't really have to have a job because money's coming in through cryptocurrency that's developed by the One World Order, and everybody's got enough credits as long as you do good stuff. If you carjack steal a car, you lose credits. If you help an old lady cross the street, you gain credits. And pretty soon you just go to the football game, enjoy yourself with the credits you've got. It's going to be a weird world, I'm telling you.
I don't know. Yeah.
Dude, we've gone for almost 15 minutes. I'm going to
imagine, but just imagine this one thing, measuring your speed in football to hundredths of a second.
Yeah. Because that's all. The only difference it makes is just a split second decision.
Yep. And you got that split second to catch a ball or it's past you.
Well, that's the same thing in a car accident, It could just be a split second that decides whether you're going to go through the red light or stop at the red light.
Amazing. A small number, hundredths of a second.
It is. Well, let's close this off, and then we can have a chat in the green room about other stuff. And What do you got to share with us to ending in wisdom from a Packer backer? Do you think the Packers are going to the Super Bowl this year? Oh, what's
Get hooked
this?
on Green Bay. Get hooked on Green Bay.
Is that what that is all about? Is that one of those?
Well, they're the number 1 seed, and they're the most exciting team to watch right now. I'll tell you that. So it's going to be exciting. February 13th.
That's all that matters, right? It doesn't matter if they go to the Super Bowl, but if you had a good time getting there, it's not about the goal; it's about the journey, right?
And they've been on an incredible journey. Blue collar, hardworking team with no divas. Started at the town. The town owns it as a nonprofit, smallest thing in the whole NFL, and they're leading the NFL right now. I mean, what a team.
I'm going to put you in the green room, and then I'm going to come back there. I want to have a conversation with you about affiliate marketing and promoting NFL football stuff. Okay?
Bye.
Okay. See you later. Go Vikings! Ay. That's the interesting thing about football. They're really, really into it. Those fans are fanatics. That's just the way it is. I mean, I'm fascinated by that. You sit up in the nosebleed section and you watch some guy screaming at the top of his young lungs. And there's this little guy running down there. You can't even see who he is, but he's yelling at him. There you go. Okie dokie, Smokey. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be safe, be nice. See ya.